Hey there, it's been a while since I've seen you face to face. So today we're going to learn about prep products when using Japanese gel. Like exactly what products do you need when using it? You've heard prep is the most important part of a nail service. But what does the word prep even mean? What does it do to the nail? Is prep a liquid solution or a process? We'll answer that and a little more in today's episode number 5 of this Japanese Gel Fundamentals series. Hey there, welcome. If you are new here, I am Paola of PaolaPonceNails.com, and I help current and aspiring nail techs become thriving stylists, mastering all of their gel nail services using soft gel only. If this sounds like a niche you like to continue exploring, then do consider subscribing. Prep. Yes, there are 3 forms of prepping the nail. Here are what they are. Now, prep is short for preparation, and just like painting a car, a wall, anything, you cannot just dab paint on it. Well, I guess you can, but not if you want that long wear, am I right? So much in the same way, prep is absolutely essential before putting anything on the natural nails. Now, if we can go back a bit in time, and this is even before I got into nails myself, prep was done a bit harsher back in the day, especially for hard nail products like acrylic nails and some hard gels. Now, thankfully, even for those services today, prep has gone a little bit milder or a little more gentle. The nails back then needed to be significantly dehydrated, primed, and roughened up in order for these nail products to have superior adhesion to the natural nail. Thankfully, over the years, nail primers have gone milder and products have become less acidic. And of course, a big thank you to all the nail companies who have cared enough to alter their products so that they are less corrosive or irritating to both techs and clients. Now, better products thankfully have also aided in better adhesion. Usually you have to compromise, you have to give up one for the other, but not in this case. I have specifically dedicated myself to work with soft potted gel formulas for their much more delicate process of adhering to the nail. And in today's episode number 5 of this Japanese Gel Nail Fundamental series, we will be identifying the 2 forms of prep needed for the best adhesion to the natural nail. First, let's address the 3 types of methods to preparing the natural nails before addressing the 2 that we will need to use with Japanese gel. Prep method number 1, prepping the natural nail as in using a liquid solution. Back in the day, acid primers were a hit in the application of acrylic nails, and apparently what one of the primary things an acid-based primer did was to actually etch the nails so that product actually flowed into the nail and adhered on. Ouch, I know. Well, I don't think it actually hurt, but chemically boring holes into the nail sounds like it would work at improving adhesion, I guess. But who wants to bore holes in their nails just for long wear? Thankfully, that's no longer happening, my friend. Another way to prep the nail is via a pH bonder. Basically, as I understand it, the oilier the nail plate is, or the more moisture producing ones at least, tend to be more alkaline. And a pH bonder dehydrates the nail, making it more acidic and helps it bond to the nail product. We'll learn in a little bit that Japanese gels or soft potted gels actually do not require separate pH balancers prior to adhering the base gel on the natural nail. Prep method number 2, prepping the natural nail as in buffing or filing the surface of the nail. Creating texture on the nail via a buffer, file, or efile ensures a better adhesion. Sometimes we call this process of preparing the natural nails as sanding the nails. This is another form of prepping that thankfully has gotten milder, if we can say it that way. Yes, you can still use an arbor band or sanding band to texturize the nail, but I especially like when systems only require a buffer. I'll have you know that most soft potted gel systems like Japanese gels and biosculpture only require a 220 approximately grit buffer. Can we say soft potted gels for the win? Okay, I'm being super biased here. Prepping via sanding opens up the nails, making them porous and allowing for the product to slip into the nails slightly and adhere. Prep method number 3, prepping the natural nails as in using tools to remove all excess cuticle from off of the nail plate. Listen, beauty friend, you can apply all of the primer you like and roughen up the surface of the nail. But if there is still cuticle, and yes, sometimes it is even invisible, that cuticle, aka dead skin on the nail plate, will manage to hydrate itself back up for the application of your gel base, and within literally 24 hours, those nails will begin lifting. So what do? Simple. You want to mechanically, if possible, remove any trace of that cuticle. You would do so via an electric filing machine and diamond particle attachment bit. It is simply the most thorough way to remove cuticle from off of the nail plate, and personally without shredding the natural nail. Yes, any bit rotating at thousands of rotations per minute will shave some nail plate, but between an arbor band and a diamond particle bit, I think the diamond bit is the lesser of the two evils, and as equally, if not more thorough than the arbor band. I would definitely never use an arbor band on clients or myself. Soft potted gels simply don't need it for better adhesion. With a soft potted gel brand like Cuticle that wears and feels a bit more like hard gel, you can opt to use it, but I would still avoid the arbor band in general with soft potted gels. I find I still get a good minimum 3-week wear at least without the use of texturizing the surface of the nail significantly. And when you texturize a nail via an arbor band, you're kind of creating like these little arms on the nail plate that are going to latch on to the product and create kind of like that bond, that inseparable bond. All right, so again, the 3 methods of prepping. Number 1, prepping via a primer. Number 2, prepping via sanding. Number 3, prepping via cuticle removal. Hard product systems like acrylic and hard gel always need a primer of some sort, sometimes even both dehydrator and primer. Don't skip them unless you want your nails to last 2 days. Now, Japanese gel only needs technically number 2 and number 3, so prepping via sanding and cuticle removal. And I say technically because when it comes to priming, the bonding or priming agent, the adhesion agent, is already found in your gel base. So you are not applying it separately, it's already in there. And because of this innovation, you literally only need the following prep products for maximum adhesion when using your Japanese gel or soft potted gel system. Prep product number 1. 90% isopropyl alcohol or 90% IPA for short. Who doesn't like a good IPA? And you're doing 90 instead of 70% because the 30% water and 70% alcohol is enough to cause you lifting, since it will not have enough time to evaporate from the natural nail surface prior to your gel application. That is it, my friend. Alcohol and alcohol only. No need to get fancy, I promise. In fact, none of the 3 main brands I use even provide their own prep solution. This is how unnecessary prep solution is to them in order to still have perfect adhesion between the nail and their product. You don't even need acetone in your cleanser. In fact, it may affect your adhesion by one of 2 ways. Number 1, making the nails brittle over time, and number 2, by creating a condensation layer right on top of the surface of the nail that will then result in lifting because that condensation is a form of moisture. And again, no, you do not need to use a bonder or primer. Will using one increase adhesion? Absolutely. But around the 3rd nail service, so once your client has returned to you the 3rd time, her nails will be drier and more brittle, and you'll notice your service is lasting from henceforth less and less, or you having to get somewhat more aggressive with your prep to ensure proper adhesion going forward. And soon after, you'll be hearing the dreaded words from your client: I need to take a break. See you again whenever. Prep product number 2, a buffer. Literally, that's it. And nothing coarser than 180 grit buffer. So you don't need an arbor band on the natural nail. You don't need a gritty file, just a buffer. If you're doing natural virgin nails, you can do 200 approximate grit. If you just remove product or you need a little bit more adhesion, you can do a 180 grit buffer. The nail plate simply does not need anything coarser than that for the soft potted gel product to adhere. Overdoing your sanding prep will result in surface breakdowns once you've thinned the natural nail significantly where there is not even enough keratin for the product to adhere to. Yes, if you use a coarse grit on the natural nail plate, you will have strong adhesion the first time and even the second time. But what about henceforth? Would you even have a client when she doesn't want to get her nails done any longer because gel ruins her nails? Prep product number 3, a diamond nail bit. I've tried a gentle pumice stone type bit to exfoliate, and I've also tried a sanding band to remove the cuticle, but the pumice bit was too gentle even when I cranked my efile speed up, and the sanding band was more than I needed. A quality diamond bit is all you need, and you'll need it in your efile to do the work for you. I'll link you to my favorite sources down in the description box below for these type of bits. Using a diamond bit on the nail plate to remove the cuticle will just about guarantee a no lift application. I will caution the DIY community against using power tools without a bit of training. It is the easiest way to cause damage to your nails as a newbie. Check out my efiling course below for a speedy but thorough crash training. I would much rather you use a 180 grit board file if you are not trained with an electric file and literally just barely feather it on the nail. Again, it is too easy to cause damage to the natural nail when the attachment bit is rotating at thousands of rotations per minute. And please always work on dry nails. Do not do a water manicure prior. This will allow you to see all of the dry areas, but especially decrease lifting. These 3 super accessible products is all Japanese gels need for great adhesion, I promise. So let's bring it all home. The 3 prep methods are: number 1, prepping with a primer; number 2, prepping by sanding; number 3, prepping by cuticle removal. And for easy remembrance, you can remember the 3 prep products needed for Japanese gel by remembering them in the acronym ABC. A is for alcohol, B is for buffer, C is for cuticle diamond bit. I'll link you to my favorite ABC sources down below. Key prepping takeaways as it pertains to Japanese gels. Primer and coarse grits are absolutely optional and can cause more harm than good in the long run to the natural nails. Remember, if you use a bonder or if you use a coarse grit on the natural nails, yes, you will have strong adhesion, but after the second service or definitely the third, and also if you're removing the nails off each time, you will see a decrease in overall good health of those natural nails. I've done my gel nail services for over 5 years using only alcohol, a buffer, and a cuticle diamond bit. And the evidence is in the pudding, my friends. Up to 6 weeks of wear on many of my clients, including myself. So you got this. Be thorough. Trust your products. If you think one is not doing it for you, try and train in a different brand. And by the way, I am actually hosting a leaf gel certification training next month. I'll link you down below also to all of the details in case you've chosen leaf gel as your main brand or want to learn more about it before you make it your brand. Otherwise, I'll also link you to my free training so that you can see if our current generic Japanese gel nail course is a match for the current stage of your nail journey. Thank you so much again for joining me in this 5th episode of our current series. I'll see you next week, same time, same place, for episode number 6, all about the best efile bits and their use when working on Japanese gel nail manicures. Bye for now.